Hi everybody, it's Emma Jane coming to you from my channel Life in Kafoople Land. Welcome back. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to connect with students. Sometimes, especially when you start at a new school or you start teaching for the first time, it's really tricky to try and make that connection with students. It takes quite some time. And I had a comment made to me recently where a new teacher said to me, "Oh, the kids are quite cold." And I was surprised by that comment because I don't find the kids cold at all. But I guess when you're new coming into a school, it takes quite a while to establish a connection with students. So I wanted to give you 5 tips today on how, when you're a new teacher in a new school, to connect with students. Tip number 1, learn their names. Now it's really overwhelming, especially if you're a high school teacher, because you can have 5 classes of up to realistically 30 students each. So that's a lot of kids that you need to learn the names of. So my recommendation is you start with 3 plus 3 from each class. So for each class, pick the 3 students who, and you're going to have them, those 3 kids who just are quite problematic in their behaviours. So those 3 students who need to get a lot of attention in class, they are quite loud and boisterous, and they always want everybody to be looking at them and listening to them. Learn their names first. Pick 3 of them. Learn their names. Also pick the other 3 who are the quieter ones, the ones who want to help you, the ones who are always trying to do the right thing. Pick 3 of those. If you can pick 3 plus 3 names for each class and learn those, then you should be okay. In order to do this, get a picture roll of each class, a roll that has not only the students' names but their identification photo. That'll help you learn those 3 plus 3 names. The other tip for learning students' names is to watch, observe where they sit. In a high school situation where the students are coming to you, to your classroom, just watch where they sit, because human beings are creatures of habit, and even if you don't have an actual set seating plan, the students will generally tend to sit in the areas where they feel comfortable. And so just write down in pencil where they sit for the first couple of lessons, and you will get to learn, okay, Johnny sits in that left seat towards the front. And so then you can just look at your little seating plan and say, "Johnny, I did ask you to start that work 5 minutes ago." And he'll be so surprised that you know his name. Another little trick is when you're patrolling around the classroom and you're not sure of a student's name, just glance down at their book. And they always forget that their mum has written their name on their book at the start of the year, and they'll be quite surprised that you know their name. Tip number 2, always find something positive about every single student. Even the most troublesome students have something positive, a good quality about them that you can remind yourself of when they are totally frustrating you. Bless their little hearts. There are always some who will frustrate you to no end. But remember, they were a cute little baby once and they were very, very loved. Think of some good qualities about them. Try not to focus on their behaviours, rather the good qualities that they have. For example, are they considerate? Are they helpful? Are they imaginative? Are they hardworking? Are they compassionate? Do they show empathy? Do they show initiative? Do they show integrity? And comment on that with them and be sincere with your comments, but find at least one good thing about every kid. Number 3, always take the time to chat in the playground to students. On playground duty, this is a really great opportunity to help pass the time as well. But just walking around past students, just make a little comment, say hello, ask how they're going, ask gentle questions. Teenagers don't like to be interrogated, so ask some nice gentle questions to help them to warm up to you. Good questions to ask teenagers are how-to questions. Like, what do I do to put a filter on my Instagram photo? They love to help us old fogies with those sorts of things. Tip number 4, maintain a sense of humour with kids. You cannot take yourself too seriously. You cannot take life too seriously. Be prepared to have a laugh with them and at yourself. Don't make dad jokes though, but have a sense of humour, stay light-hearted and good-spirited about things. Number 5 is allow time for this to happen. It will not happen straight away. Relationships take time. We are in the people business, we're in the human relationships business, and teenagers are just little humans. It will take them a long time to trust you and to respect you. They need to be shown consistency and they need to be shown loyalty from you before they can trust you. Allow this time, be patient with them, be willing to make some effort. You know, in life, anything worthwhile takes time and effort. I want to issue you with a challenge to increase the connectivity between yourself and your students, and I'd like you to trial this for 1 week. Bookend your lesson with yourself standing at the door to greet the students as they enter and as they leave the classroom. It's really easy to forget this very simple technique because we're so busy trying to get ready for the role and the lesson and everything that's going to happen, or finishing up from the previous lesson. Make the effort to go back to the door and stand there. Give the kids a high five. Look them in the eyes. Greet them by name. Welcome them into the classroom. As they're leaving, say, have a great day. Enjoy your afternoon. Have a great weekend. And if you do this with eye contact for 1 week, I can guarantee that you will see a definite increase in the connectivity between you and your students. Good luck. Let me know how you go with it. Those are my tips for you. Hopefully they are helpful. If you liked this video, can you give it a thumbs up? And can you also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos? And share with your friends, especially friends who may be beginning teachers or they've just started at a new school. We'll see you next time.